job is just to make sure that you have capital in place. So let's suppose you have someone, you're 75, your oldest son is, let's just say he's 35, 40 years difference. And that, well, I don't want to leave him with everything. I don't want him to put the money into the ground or put the business into the ground. Well, why don't you set up a training and growth fund? Set up a life insurance policy that's designed for him to take risks with that money that's not going to sink the company. Let him do some things with it. I got that idea from Sanjay Talani. I kind of like that idea. I haven't worked that into the course yet, but whatever we could do to minimize risks for the business, keep it relevant, keep it current, and provide the funding for it is all that much the better. And especially if we're increasing the amounts that we're borrowing from banks, having increasing collateral that make you a better business risk to lend to, that much the better too. That's even better for the balance sheet. So many areas. I just wanted to kind of touch on this. So for any business owners that happen to listen, like there's so many areas. The question is, what's most important for you now? Does it make sense to figure out what it is and what the extent of the risk is and put something in place to help protect that business going forward? Because if we don't, that business might not make it to the second, third generation. Yeah. And there's some businesses that shouldn't. Now, if you're walking down in the mall and you're talking to a business owner who happens to be running the kiosk, great for you. You own your job. Nothing wrong with that. But we're not looking at buy-sell planning for your kiosk. That's not what we're looking for there. If you're selling cell phone cases, you could do it in the mall. You could also do it on eBay and Amazon, right? There's different ways to do that, but you're kind of just a sales distributor. Yes, you're a business owner. Yes, you might have a business entity, but we're talking about you've got a professional practice. You're a doctor. You're a dentist. You're a architect. You have people that work for you. You've got something that is moving forward and creating value, and yet you're not sure what the future of that business is going to be, and you're not sure how that business can work with your family situation. It takes some analysis, takes some coordinating of all those priorities. So it's really exciting. I'm really looking forward to getting into that. Hopefully you can tell that I've got the mind for it. The question is, how do we apply it? How do we put it together for the client to make sure that what they want to have happen will happen? And what they don't want to have happen, how do they have the best happen out of it for what they don't want to have happen? Hope for the best, plan for the worst, and plan also for the best. And I would hope that would make a very happy business owner, even if I've got to be a little blunt in my approach. So I think that's all I've got top of mind here. I just wanted to touch base on some of that stuff. Any other thoughts, Mike?
No, I think this is good. And, if you're a business owner out there and you're listening to this and you have just thoughts spinning in your head or ideas or questions or anything that, you might want to look into a little bit, reach out to either one of us and we can get together and just go over whatever the questions, comments, concerns, whatever it is, and see if any of these things are even a fit for your business, if it makes sense, what direction you might want to go, whether, it's a life insurance, an annuity product, or whatever, type thing that makes sense for your business, or whether there's just other types of planning that you might want to do that you haven't done yet. I mean, we have connections everywhere, literally. So, even if it's something that we can't do, we can point you in the right direction. So feel free to reach out to either one of us.
Advisors that we work with. And so I'll just put it with this. I've got a 7-step, 37-point checklist to review with someone to make sure that we've got the planning elements in place for what you want to have happen. So this is not off the cuff. This podcast is off the cuff, but the process of working with the business owner is not. It is well structured, well formulated, and there's a lot of order and organization that goes into it. Yeah. And so when we're ready to do that, we'll be able to engage in that way, show you a sample plan of the kind of work that is possible. The question is do we want to have that happen for you? So there's a lot of work behind the scenes on this. So
yeah. And it's not a quick answer, and there's a lot of I just